Good morning. Welcome to Million Cup, Colorado Springs. I thought that would get a bigger round of applause. Afterwards, if you want to talk, I happened to do Fort Collins last week, and it's the Million Cup. It's a little different, so we'll have an opportunity if you're interested in what that's like. They're a good group, so if you're looking for some place to present, I would encourage you to think about that. Okay, so this morning we have one presenter, and so we're going to do something a little bit different at the end. I'm going to ask you, we'll go around and see who has any wins they want to share, something that good that's happened in their business or related to business, something that you want to let the group know about. I think sometimes we need to take that moment to step back and share those sorts of things. So we're going to do that. We're also going to do the community announcements right after the presentation. So if you have those, we'll call you up. You'll stand over here and you'll tell us what you got. Let's see. Let's talk about our sponsors. We have Christy Logan. Come on up. You'll say
Hey guys, my name is Kirsty. I'm the owner of the Sleepy Turtle Coffee Company. I am a mobile coffee shop located in Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region. I do all sorts of stuff. I do pop-ups, I do grand openings, I also do wholesale and a lot of private labeling. So if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll be right back there.
Is there somebody to talk about being the coffee sponsor or the coffee cup sponsor? Come on up. SBDC, right?
Alzheimer's Association.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No
Wrong
worries.
person.
Oh, you're fine.
After you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Hare. I am here on behalf of the Alzheimer's Association, Central Colorado. We are a three-person office, including myself, our director, regional director, Rosemary Jaramillo, and our development manager, Charlotte Long. We are care support and services for 19 counties in the central and southern Colorado region. And we just really want to let people know that we are here for the community, we're here for your families, we're here for your customers, we're here for you in general. So we have 10 support groups between here and Monument, or between Pueblo and Monument, caregiver support groups that family members and friends can attend. And we have a wonderful education series, a virtual Veterans Association dementia caregiver education series that's starting on June 30th. That's an 8-week series. There are flyers for all of those things down there. And we wanted to say thank you all so much for having us, and thank you for letting us be a part of this.
Hi. We also have our space sponsor, Judy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Next Us. And just always, of course, thanks for supporting the entrepreneurs. Here at The Next Us, we're breaking down the barriers of what people think when they hear the word professional. So we're all ages, all walks of life, all kinds of professions and passions and on the entire spectrum. So thanks for being here, and I can't wait to hear our presenter today.
I realize now that I just read this wrong. The coffee cup sponsor is SBDC. They can have a round of applause. Just while we're here, is there anyone who's never been before? Wow, first timers, lots. Thank you, welcome. There is a fishbowl in the back, and if you get an opportunity, drop your card in there, and maybe drop the name of the person who invited you. There is some kind of recognition. Quarterly drawing for swag of some sort. They got an ooh over here. Super. Thank you and welcome. If you've never been to Million Cup before, let me give you a quick description. We are an entrepreneur support group. It is a nationwide thing, and so all over the country there are people meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, sharing coffee and sharing their experiences about on their entrepreneur journey. And with that, I think we will bring up our presenter. So this is Molly Adkins, and her business is Sacred Sound Healing. Let's have a big round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Molly Adkins of Sacred Sound Healing. The first thing that I would like to do is just take a collective breath today along with the Tibetan singing bowl, which is what I'll be talking about today, is sound vibrations. So if you'd like, take a deep breath in, close your eyes gently, or have a soft gaze just a couple feet in front of you. Take a deep breath all the way into the belly. Suspend the breath. I am present and ready to activate my creative mind. And exhale completely, bringing the belly button all the way to the spine. And then go back to natural breathing. And feel free to open your eyes whenever you're ready. Very nice. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to share what I do and how I got to this location right here today. What I do is I help women. I help women create the life that they want by clearing negative energy from their past experiences and then stepping into their alignment with their life's purpose. And the way I do that is through using sound vibration of Tibetan singing bowls, crystal singing bowls, gongs, chimes, all different types of instruments. You know how some people will stick in a marriage or a relationship because they fear what's going to happen. They fear that they're not able to support themselves, especially women. Or perhaps you're staying in a job because you want to keep that pension, but you're really not excited about your job. You know how that happens, right? So this is what I work with women to really think about these things in their lives. And today I'm going to tell you about how I overcame a lot of these blocks and a lot of these fears by using sound vibrations. I believe that our past experiences bring us all types of lessons throughout our lives. And boy, have I had the lessons, lots of lessons. And, on the outside, I've had lots of achievements. I looked like I was rocking it. I really did. I did a BA in music and voice. I moved to Japan. I was studying Japanese music. I was singing Japanese folk song. I was standing on stage with all Japanese people at my side in competitions, beating Japanese people while singing Japanese folk song in competitions. I was on Japanese TV and radio. I did my master's degree in ethnomusicology. I was rocking it. I came back to the States. I got a job actually teaching Japanese. I was winning teaching awards, doing all these amazing things. But on the inside, I had terrible stage fright. I was depressed. I was overweight. I hated my job. I wasn't doing very well in my marriage. I mean, things were tough on the inside, but on the outside, things looked wonderful, right? So how can we step from that looking like you're doing great and everybody like, yeah, you're doing awesome. You got to stay in your job. And because even though you want to retire right now, you've got to get that pension, right? You got to get that pension. Well, last year, actually, let's take another step back. 2017, I took a yoga class, and it was the first time I experienced mantra singing, crystal singing bowls. And that vibration from that experience was bringing something to me. I had never experienced it before. I didn't know what it was. I wasn't able even to verbalize what I was experiencing, but now I know it was energetic releases. Because our bodies are not just this physical body, but our subtle body, our energetic body. has collects all of our past negative experiences. And then as you balance that negative energy, release that energy, you will become more into yourself, come into yourself, and able to align with your life's purpose. So last year, I ended up quitting my job. I'm only 5 years away from that pension and full retirement, but I quit my job because I wasn't aligned with that. I wasn't moving forward. I sold my house. I couldn't pay my mortgage anymore. So I sold my house. I sold everything in it. And I moved from Indiana to Colorado Springs. Actually, everybody's like, why Colorado Springs? I was like, it was the mountains. I was doing some deep diving and using the sound vibrations and meditation to step into my life's purpose. And I knew that Colorado Springs was the place that I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be near the mountains. And since I've been here, I opened my business just 3 months ago. And I'm starting already to have an influx of people joining my programs, coming in for one-on-one sessions, walking into meetings like this, and people going, oh, I know you from Facebook. Oh, I know you from so-and-so. I'm going to come into your business. So I know that I'm aligned with my business, with what I'm supposed to do, my life's purpose, because I was able to use these sound vibrations and step into my life's purpose, my life's path. And that's why I'm standing here today. How I got here today was by using the sound healing and becoming who I am meant to be. Thank you.
So we're going to take some questions now. I think Jenna's walking around with a microphone, so if you just raise your hand, she'll walk up to you and we'll take your question.
Morning. I love it. Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
When you walked into the entrepreneur space, had you ever considered being an entrepreneur, or did you just jump in and how did you do that?
Yeah, I just jumped in. I have no idea what I was doing. Not even was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know really what I'm doing. I am just feeling my way around. I had not thought about being an entrepreneur. It's a big step. And it's interesting because I was a high school teacher, and our days, we had 90-minute classes, and just a few months ago I realized that I was still planning my day on 90-minute increments. Yes.
Where do you practice? Where's your business located at?
My business is located, I actually was able, and this is another thing that I was able to manifest since I came to Colorado Springs, is I'm now managing a new location called Lotus Center for Wellbeing. And I have my room there where I can do individual sessions as well as group sessions. I do group sound healings. Actually, this evening I'm teaching a group sound healing and yoga class. It's called Healing Through Sound and Flow. And so that's where I'm at. It's North Academy.
Do you have a favorite instrument? You mentioned the Tibetan bowls, the crystal singing bowls, the drums. Which one's your favorite?
My favorite, actually, the crystal singing bowls. I brought a couple today. If you'd like, I could play on them so that you could hear the sounds. But crystal singing bowls is where I stepped into. And also the voice. I was a voice major, sang all my life. So voice is really my favorite.
What type of results, or what are some things that you've noticed from people after working with you?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. I work a lot with women. What I seem to attract are women that have a lot of anxiety. And so that being able to release that anxiety and to feel really more relaxed and in coming into their own body. Yeah, thank you.
We've got a question on Facebook over here.
Yes.
It says, it was very brave of you to quit your job 5 years from retirement. Any regrets, or how do you cope with the doubt?
Yes. I do not regret it whatsoever. I am so happy where I am right now. I am so, gosh, I have never been so unstable in my life financially, but I have never been so happy in my life. So absolutely no regrets. And how do I deal with that? I use my sound vibrations, actually, is how I do it every single day. I'm humming, using the sounds, sitting in meditation, and really just knowing that I'm on the path and that I'll be, and trusting. I trust.
I know that you've been saying all along that you work with women,
Yes.
and I wondered if you had ever had a man that
Yes.
you've helped out, and what is the reason for your focusing on women only?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I do work with men. That's not, it's not that they can't come to me. Actually, actually, it's the very same things. I work with men as well. I work with women. I focus on women because I am my ideal client. And I know what I went through and the types of steps, the types of courage it took to take those big leaps and just transform my life completely. And that's why I feel like I can relate most well with women. Yes. Yes. Oh, sorry, microphone.
How do you envision your business like in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years? What are you envisioning for it?
Yeah, thank you. I envision actually stepping into the role of becoming an instructor to be able to teach others on how to use sound or how to do sound healing for others. I actually am teaching a class this Saturday as well, teaching how to use humming for everybody to use to heal your own energetic body. Putting myself out of business, basically, if you learn how to do it properly.
So we discovered recently at other 1 Million Cups, sometimes they ask our special question first, but I'm wondering if right now in the middle is a good time. I'll just point out to you, because you didn't know a whole lot about entrepreneurship, some people spend years not paying themselves and not making an income, reinvesting, etc. So I can tell you, being able to produce income fairly quickly within the first 3 months is very impressive. So sometimes people get scared, like, oh no, there's so much I don't know, and then they scare themselves out of being an entrepreneur. We don't want to go that route. But I'm sure there's, like you said, there's a lot you don't know, but that's what we're here for. So this gentleman has our paddle for this special question. Can we skip to that right now?
Okay. What can we, as a Colorado Springs business community, do to help you?
Yes, that is actually, Samantha, you hit it on the nose. And what I would like to ask is actually two things. One is some creative ways to get in front of people to be able to talk about what I do and about sound vibrations and how they can help heal. So creative ways to get in front of people. And the other is I am, the way that, because I knew nothing about entrepreneurship, right now I'm living off of the sale of my house. And so that I would like to be able to find some way to do some finances to be able to support the business side without digging deeper into my savings. Yes.
Just dominate the mic today. Do you, I know you said sometimes you have anxiety and stage fright, but I'm just very interested in hearing some of your music or even something in Japanese, if you're so willing to break outside that comfort zone.
Stage fright was actually something that I dealt with for many years, even as a undergraduate in voice at CU Boulder. grew up in Indiana, went to CU Boulder. And it was to the point where my voice teacher was like, yeah, you don't have to sing today, because I was just so full of anxiety. I would love to play the crystal singing bowls. They're down here on the floor, so I'm going to have to sit down on the floor if that's all right. Yeah. And I don't know. As I trip over the rug. Think about an intention that you would like to manifest in your life, starting with the two words, I am. I am. And then feel as if that has already been manifested in your life. Notice what actions you're taking, what emotions you're feeling. How are you being in this moment? I am. I am. I am. I am. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. I am. I am. I am. Thank you.
Is that like a typical kind of what we would expect if we did a session with you, or can you talk us through what a typical session would look like?
For an individual session is about an hour long. And what we do in an individual session is that we talk about what you'd like to work on, if there's anything in particular. And some people come to me like, I don't know. I was just attracted to coming to you. In that case, and actually in all cases, what I use is my Tibetan bowl. The Tibetan singing bowl to assess your energy and how it is in the moment. So I use it when I activate the bowl, I can hear how the vibrations interact with the energy of your body. And then based on what I hear, I can tell if you have excessive energy in some cases or deficient energy in other places. And then based on what I hear in the bowl, in the energy, as well as what your intention is for the session, I'll use a variety of combinations of crystal singing bowls. I have 7, 8, 9, 10 bowls, as well as several of the Tibetan bowls, gongs, shakers, different things to shake up that energy, as well as, and then to balance and bring that energy into a natural state. And then at the end, I'll talk about what I heard, as well as hear what the client experienced during the session. Some clients will experience having visions, seeing colors, being visited by spirit guides. There are different types of things. Sometimes they don't experience anything at all. All is normal. Thank you for that question.
The bowls that you brought, what is the tone of each one?
The tone of each, the two that I brought today, the lower one is the C. If you're familiar with the piano, it's C. And then the second one is E. These are both, however, all of my bowls are based on 432 hertz as opposed to 440 hertz, if you're familiar with that. 440 is what our modern music is tuned to. 432 is the natural vibration of the earth.
Hummingbirds hum because they don't know the words. Why do you hum?
Why do I hum? I hum because I hum because of the vibration, that the vibration itself can heal the body. With using the technique that I have, I can direct that vibration to any place in the body that's needing healing. So as we feel different emotions or even have different physical soreness, or, this sound healing can even cure cancer. So I know how to direct the humming to those locations to heal. Yes. Oh, sorry.
So this practice, is there like a culture that this is kind of rooted in, people that have done this for years? Or
Yes. So that's it's the sound heal. I went through the Sound Healing Academy, and they brought in the traditions from many different cultures that are hundreds and thousands of years old. So the Tibetan singing bowl, this bowl right here is 600 years old, and it was handmade. And so, yes, definitely. There's also drumming, from Native American drumming that I do as well. So this is a very old practice that's being brought back to our modern society for people who are looking for more holistic healing. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, you're gonna hold it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's. I've experienced sound healing before, and I think it's really beneficial, and it could really help a lot of people going through different traumas, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But with your background in education, I would think that in light of what's going on in just public education in general, with the turbulent times we're going through,
Yes.
it could really appeal to maybe a lot of educators
Mm-hmm.
that are going through a lot of, quite frankly, trauma right now
Mm-hmm.
in what they're experiencing. Have you maybe thought about reaching out to other educators, especially with your background, and
Yes.
that might be a demographic that might really be in need of this, perhaps?
Yes, they are definitely in need. Since I know just a year ago I was in those shoes. I will be perfectly honest and authentic in my comment, in that I still have a lot of healing to do myself. And when I started this business a few months ago or 6 months ago, I was actually targeting teachers, and I found myself plummeting down with the teachers instead of lifting them up. So that's why I had to take a step back, and I do believe that is a place that I'll come back to for sure.
We have time for one more question.
Now, you said a typical session is an hour. What does a typical treatment regimen look like? How long does it last?
Right. Of course, with all things, it just depends on the client, but I always recommend a minimum of 4 sessions that are spaced out about 7 to 10 days. That gives the 7 to 10 days gives the client time to heal and to reflect, and I also give a little bit of homework to work, some things to work on during that time, and then after about 4 weeks, we can start to see some improvement in whatever it is that they're working on. All right. Thank you all very much for your time.
We'd like to give you a million cup. I use mine all the time. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to wait a second while we move the bowls. While we're doing that, if you have a community announcement, maybe we could sort of find our way towards the front of the room and maybe make a line over here. Nobody? There we go.
Come on, there's got to be somebody else.
I'm getting in at the end, so. Anybody else? Join the line when you're ready. Come on up. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. I'm Brian Prosser. Y hay personas en este cuarto que habla español. Nobody? Somebody? Kind of? All right. On Thursday, July 14th, I will be presenting in Spanish about retirement and the Colorado Secure Savings Act and what that means for our small businesses. So if any of you have any questions about retirement, doesn't have to be in Spanish. Clearly I speak English. Would love to talk with you. This is an event that's being put on by the Hispanic Chamber. It is 100% free, and we would love to see you there.
Can you go ahead and translate this announcement into Spanish?
I can. Si hay otras personas aquí que hablan español, el jueves 14 de julio tenemos un evento sobre retiramiento y para los empresarios y dueños de negocios aquí en Colorado Springs. Es un evento de la Cámara Hispano y va a estar en Silver Key entre 6 y 8 de la noche. Si hay más preguntas, por favor, habla conmigo y también puede ver más información en el sitio de red de Hispano, de Cámara Hispano en español. ¿Otras preguntas? Bien. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cam Fletcher, and this is my first time here. Samantha asked me to announce why I'm dressed like this. I normally do not do my job, which is teaching sourdough bread classes, dressed like this. It is Bike to Work Day today. And next year, you guys do it. There were 40 stations with breakfast, all different types. One station just had bacon, okay? There was bacon and pancakes, there was biscuits, you name it, and lots of swag. Talking about swag? Okay, and in my jacket. It's really a great thing to get people on their bikes. It's in June. It's random, but it's always in June. Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm going to make a community announcement. This weekend, or actually starting tomorrow night, is Denver Fringe. If you're unfamiliar with Fringe festivals, it started in Scotland, spread across the world. And the really fun part about Fringe is it is acts that are a little offbeat. So sometimes it's circus and magic and clowning, but also it'll be one-act plays and unusual sorts of things. And they're great. There's 40 acts going to be up there this weekend. The tickets are relatively inexpensive. It's all through the Rhino and Five Points District. And to be a little bit self-serving, I have a show Friday night. I have a show Saturday night. It's at 5 o'clock. I think tickets are like $15. But it's a little different kind of magic. It's about stories. And it's called Strange Loves and Devotions. Strange Tales of Loves and Devotions. And I'd love to have you come up and see some familiar faces.
Hi, I'm your resident gearhead. This week is Peak Week. The Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, which is the 100th running, is this weekend. On Friday night is Fan Fest. So they shut off about 12 city blocks downtown. You can come check out a bunch of the race cars and see some of the most phenomenal cars, or race cars in the world, because this is one of the most prestigious races in not only our country but in the world. Friday night at like 5:30 or 6. You'll see it downtown.
My announcement this morning is a little bit past tense. Who went to the Silver Key Senior Summit on Wednesday last week? So I had to miss 1 million cups, and actually a lot of you were there, so I felt a little guilty. I don't know how many people were here last week, but it was amazing. They did a great job bringing the community together, not just the seniors, but people that are going to become seniors, which I think Derek said before. We all need to know what aging looks like for us, what we get to decide what our life wants to look like. So that was just an amazing event. So good to see so many of you there. Hopefully next year they won't do it on a Wednesday, or maybe we'll just do 1 million cups there. We can maybe work that out like we did for Small Business Week. So keep that on your radar every year, especially if you support seniors in your business, then that might be a place that you'll want to connect during the expo. I think there were at least 2,400 attendees, plus all the vendors and people that had booths. And there were 2 fundraisers, a breakfast and a lunch. So super fun, a great way to support the community and be an eye in the community.
Do we have any other community announcements? Okay, so I mentioned earlier that last week I wasn't here because I was in Fort Collins at their 1 million cup. And their 1 million cup is a somewhat smaller group. And one of the things that they do at the end of every meeting is to go around and say, hey, who has a victory or an accomplishment they'd like to share? Okay, and it's a lot easier to do when there's 12 people than when there's a lot. But we thought since we only had one presenter this week, we'd spend a few minutes and let people take and share some things that have happened. From a personal note, I think this is really important. I think it goes along with Frank Sinclair's message of be encouraged. Okay, when we share what we have done, and we don't like that. We've always told as children, now don't brag. This is your chance. We need to see successes in other entrepreneurs to keep us going. So let's take a few minutes and do that. Jenna's going to walk around. Just raise your hand, and you get a chance to share something. Thanks.
I guess I'll start off. I've got a quick little one. Last week, I experienced a personal event that threw me back to childhood trauma. And I realized in the middle of this that this is a learning opportunity. Like what Molly said about taking your past and doing something good with it. So that's my success, aside from today being my birthday and being a year older and having survived.
I participated in the Pikes Peak Leadership. They have classes that they do, and I did the WCLI, so it's the women's class of 2022, and graduated that last week. So that was really exciting. It was a 6-month class that we did, and we learned a lot about ourselves and also how to be leaders in the community. So.
Yeah, I got a couple. So when I gave my presentation, I wasn't up fully running. I am fully running now. I can sell my workouts individually. I can sell them as a group. And also, I've met some great people. Both of my bankers are here, so thank you to them for helping me out and all that they do. And as well as I've collaborated with Flip. So with Altitude Ninja, we're creating a class called Fight and Flight. It's parkour evasive and self-defense as well too. So we're excited to roll that out next month. So yeah.
that one. Okay, so a week ago, Samantha, Flip, and I went to Miami. We did 14 jiu-jitsu classes in 5 days, which was awesome. And I guess at the end or in the middle of it, I earned my blue belt. So Flip, Samantha, and I now all 3 have blue belts. Flip's out of town, but if you want to see mine, you should come at 11 a.m. and do jiu-jitsu with Samantha and I.
So I came to Colorado Springs thinking I was going to do lots of hiking. I ended up buying a mountain bike. And last weekend I did Ute, and it was the person that I went with said after we got done, he's like, "Oh, that was like, you know, a blue black belt, a blue back line." I was like, "What? I'm just a beginner." But I got through it. I went nice and steady and slow, and only fell once and got a couple of bruises. Everything's good, and I'm just loving mountain biking.
Okay, well, I'm going to end this with 4 words that Flip would have said if he was here. Wingfest. It's more than 4. Nerd Night. And Memoirs is this Monday, and a couple of folks from here, including me, will be presenting. So I hope you have a great week, and go out there and get them.